What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Just Jake Reviews. I review albums, movies, and sports games. And today, we got somewhat of a different video today. This is going to be part of a series that I'm going to do multiple videos in this little short span of a month. And then after these playoffs, I don't know. Okay, sorry. Texans just signed Will Anderson Jr. Awesome. ESPN notification. I don't know how many videos I'm going to make in this series after the playoffs end. It's definitely going to be 3 in the next few weeks. But today we are doing a new segment that I like to call Sports Madness. Well, that was the OG title, and then I realized that kind of sounds lame, so I decided to come up with Ball, Puck, and Buckets. Ball, Puck, and Buckets. BPB. It was ChatGPT's fault, not mine. So if it sucks, don't blame it. Blame a computer. But anyways, what this segment is I was thinking, I was like, this channel is pretty football centric, right? I love the NFL. It's my favorite sports league. Every team, every game. We always talk about, football every day. I always love doing that 24/7. But I figured, I was like, there are other sports leagues out there. And I want to talk about them. I want to give the other sports leagues a chance to shine. So, I also love hockey. I haven't talked about hockey too much on this channel. I know I did the Olympic video last year, a while ago. And yeah, so what I have here is today we're going to be talking about baseball, talking about basketball, talking about football, some wrestling, and yes, I do have some small WNBA news. So we're going around the entire sports league, and this is basically like to show off how much I know. You guys get to see how much I know in each sports league. Hockey's going to be a lot. Hockey's my number 2. If I had to pick, I actually do know kind of a lot about basketball in terms of player-wise, but I don't watch NBA. And then you're going to see MLB is very, very small knowledge. MLB, I don't know shit about. But yeah, so I figured this will be fun because since the NBA and NHL playoffs are starting, we're going to keep doing this every single week when the playoffs get smaller and smaller and smaller and more news around the league. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to stop yapping. Let's talk about some sports. 3, 2, 1, go. So kicking it off, let's do some MLB, because MLB news, the season just started. I think every team has played almost 10 games. So the season is brand new. Little context about me. I hate baseball. I do. I have no interest in MLB whatsoever. It is the one sports league where I'm like, keep it over there. I am wearing an Indian shirt because I was like, frick it, different sports team, different sports league. I usually rock the football stuff. I rock the baseball stuff. Guardians is cool. But no, I have some stuff written down. You gotta bear with me. My MLB knowledge is very small. So I have written down some stuff I want to talk about on this thing I'm looking at. And yeah, I'm just going to go from there. This is actually kind of an interesting video because I have no clue what graphics to put up, but I'm doing my best. So let's kick it off with some MLB talk, shall we? All you baseball fans out there, this is not going to be a lot of news, but I want to bring up some stuff I want to talk about that I find very interesting. So kicking it off, we got the San Diego Padres, who are also one of my favorite teams as well. I have family who live in San Diego, so I actually saw the Padres play back in 2015. I was a 9-year-old kid. That's crazy. But yeah, San Diego Padres, they're on 8 straight wins. 8 straight wins, and they've won 12 out of their last 14 games. I mean, you don't got to tell me, but, that's not good. That is really good for any sports league. I mean, if you were any other team in any other league, winning 12 out of your last 14 is great, and winning 8 straight is amazing as well. San Diego Padres, do they still have Will Myers? I don't know. He was a player on the team when I was watching, but do they still have Will Myers? Where's Will Myers now in the league? You gotta look that up for me. I want to know where Will Myers is at. Yeah. So this is a question I want to talk about. So I saw this has been happening a few times that I've seen when I rarely watch MLB highlights. Is fighting normal in the MLB now? Because I'm watching some highlights where it's just like both bullpens just absolutely just brawl out on the field. And it's a pitcher throws a ball and it hits a player and the player gets pissed and takes his helmet off and starts throwing fucking hands. And once again, as a semi-small Guardians fan, I remember Jose Ramirez doing this a few years ago versus, I forget what team it was. But, the iconic Tommy Hamilton call of, "Down goes Jose," or whatever it is. Yeah, and they're fighting. Yeah, it's crazy. You should definitely look that up. But this is a thing now. This is one sport that I wouldn't expect to be physical, and it kind of really isn't. But this is a thing now. You gotta let me know about that. Is this sort of a thing? The Houston Astros aren't good apparently. I I usually thought they were for the longest time. I know they had the whole cheating thing a few years ago. I was familiar with that. But no, the Astros aren't good apparently. Apparently they're 8-12, which is wow. I mean, that's not. I mean, to be fair, MLB fans, you should not get pissed if your team loses any game in the first 3 months of the year, because baseball has the longest season ever, 160 something games. You should not be mad if your team is bad in like November, or sorry, not November. Sorry, I'm thinking of sport with like June. June is early for baseball. Like, don't get pissed. What matters is later on, because there's so many games. Are the White Sox bad again? Because the Chicago White Sox have been pretty poop for the last, few years, and they were considered the worst team in baseball 2 years ago. The Cleveland Guardians are 11-9, which could be better, but once again, baseball, there's no need to tell if your team's good or not because there's so much time, because there's so many fucking games. I hate that. The Dodgers are doing amazing, 11-4. Wonder why? Because they have Shohei Ohtani as their pitcher, who's absolutely crazy. I wrote down his stats. He has 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. Is that good? That sounds amazing. I don't know. That just sounds really, really good. But Shohei Ohtani, the guy's all, I remember when he signed off the Angels and the Dodgers, he signed that huge contract. And I think it was the biggest contract in baseball until the Juan Soto contract. So, yeah. Good job, Shohei. And I have to talk about it because it's on brand for me. Paul Skeens, the man Paul Skeens, who of course is not known for being a great pitcher. He's known for dating Livy Dunn, who is one of the hottest females in the world right now. 18 strikeouts. That's really good despite them. I think they only played like 8 games, right? 18 strikeouts in 8 games or whatever it is. Very, very good. Does that make him the best pitcher in the league? It's definitely up there. Okay, that's it for baseball. That's all I had for MLB. Not much because I don't care at all. And season just started. All right, now I want to talk about 2 things with WNBA. I know WNBA, no one cares, but I like to check in there every now and then. I want to show some ladies some respect. So I got 2 things. The draft was recently, and I forget the team name. The Dallas team, Azzi Fudd, Paige Becker's college teammate. She's on the same team as Paige Becker's now, which, people are wondering, like what the hell is the relationship status? Why should we care? Just let them play ball together. I love how they were best friends in college or whatever, and now they get to play pro with each other. Amazing. I love that. This happened kind of a little bit ago, but Angel Reese went to the Atlanta Dream. She got traded. I don't know why we care. She's ass. She's not good. Angel Reese is not good. When I was on Twitter, this was like last year, I saw ESPN post a video about they hyped up one Angel Reese play, and it was a layup. It's like, she's so bad they have to praise her doing a layup. And also, how are the Indiana Fever doing? I know they got Caitlin Clark, and they just re-signed Sophie Cunningham. And is Lexi Hall still playing? I used to follow her because I thought she was attractive. Not anymore, but yeah. All right, WNBA. Sorry I had to bore you for a second. I'm probably not going to mention them ever again in any of these sports madnesses, except if something crucial happens. But yeah, WNBA is done. Okay, before I get into the actual main brackets, let's talk about some WrestleMania, some wrestling. Once again, in these other sports madnesses in the upcoming weeks, I have no clue how many wrestling things I'm going to talk about. But WrestleMania is soon. I think it's actually this weekend, actually, believe it or not. I think is it tomorrow or is it today? I don't know, something. The 18th or 19th. But I used to follow wrestling a lot in like 2014, 2015. I was a huge wrestling guy because my friend was that I used to talk to at the time. And now I'm kind of falling out of it a little bit, but I'm trying to make my way back into it, and I wrote down some of the matches that I would like as a neutral fan or someone who hasn't been a fan for a long time. Once again, this is not every matchup. I don't know a ton of the new players, but I want to talk about a few of them. First of all, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. I remember when AJ Lee made her massive return a few months ago. I love AJ Lee because, once again, she was a wrestler that I used to watch in 2014. Amazing. Becky Lynch is the man. Is she the man? I think she's the man. That should be a good one. I like that a lot. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Not too familiar with Gunther's work. Once again, he is sort of on the new side of wrestling, but I love Seth frickin' Rollins. Seth frickin' Rollins rocks. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I am familiar with both these guys. Obviously, I watch Randy Orton play or wrestle. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. Yeah. Comment down below what the best entrance theme is in wrestling. For me, it's obviously Stone Cold, but I want to give a shout out to Christian. Christian's entrance theme. I have that shit on Spotify. I have that shit liked on Spotify. If you close your eyes, you might be free. Oh my god. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, adrenaline in my soul. It's Minute Maid Fruit Punch, Cody Rhodes. Shout out to that guy. That video is amazing. That should be fun. And then we got CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Oh my god. CM Punk's great. Roman Reigns is he acknowledge me? I think he is. But no, that should be a lot of fun. I think I'm a CM Punk guy, but honestly, I don't really care. I like wrestling a lot just because it's fun to watch. I don't really follow too much about the backstory and the behind the scenes of it because there's a lot of it. But yeah, that's my little thoughts. I have no clue how many other times I'm going to mention WrestleMania or wrestling in general in any of these, but I want to do it now. All right. Now the main event we've all been waiting for. We got the NBA playoff bracket and the NHL playoff bracket. I'm going to give my thoughts, and I'm going to say, in my opinion, who I think wins the each first round matchup. Only the first round. Once again, next week will be the second round. So, yeah. Okay, so the NBA playoff bracket is kind of tough right now because they do playing games, and while almost every playing game is done, there are still 2 games tonight, I think. So there's no official, as of recording this video, there's no official matchup for the Thunder and the Pistons, the 1 seeds. So I'm just going to talk. I think I'm also going to say who I think is going to win those playing games. But yeah, we're just going to go through it. So first up, we got, the 1 seed, the Thunder versus, they either play the Suns or the Warriors. Listen, I don't know about you. I'm going to go Warriors on this. I don't really care about the Warriors anymore. I used to hate them when I was a kid because they always beat the Cavs in the finals, and that was really annoying. And then we got them after having an amazing 3-1 comeback, and they beat us again because J.R. Smith didn't know how to frickin' shoot the basketball. And then we got swept in 2018. It was pretty bad. And then they almost won versus Toronto in 2019. Yeah, but the Suns, Devin Booker's still good, right? But I think Warriors because they have Steph Curry, and Steph Curry is not a quitter. But I think I'm going to take the Thunder to win this game. I'm going to give a hot take. I don't like the Thunder, and I'll tell you why. They are not a flashy team. As somebody who only watches NBA highlights based off highlights, they had no highlights at all last year. This OKC team is the equivalent to Tim Duncan. Everyone says Tim Duncan was a good player, but he had no good highlights. This team has no good highlights. I don't understand the hype around Shea or anything else. Yes, I was very pissed when they won last year because that was Indiana's trophy. Tyrese got hurt in Game 7. Put an asterisk. I put an asterisk on that OKC title because Tyrese got hurt. And now he has fucking shingles, so he probably can't play for a while. But no, in all honesty, I'm going to say Thunder win this first round matchup, but I don't want them to. Next up, Lakers versus Rockets. I had a pretty tough time with this one only because I know players on both teams. Literally, I don't care about any team in the NBA. I guess the Cavs are, cool, but, I watch players. I watch the NBA for players. I care about watching players and seeing how specific players do. So, Lakers, you got LeBron, obviously. I believe this is his last one. But, there's been hype around, for the last few years of, is this LeBron's last year? He never fucking answers the question. Can we stop interviewing LeBron and asking this question? Because the guy doesn't answer. The Rockets have Kevin Durant, who was my favorite player growing up. I fucking love Kevin Durant. They also have that Sengun guy who's pretty good. I'm going to say Lakers. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm going to say Lakers in 6. Go back to the Thunder game, Thunder in 5. I think Golden State can get 1 game. Just give the ball to Steph Curry. He'll shoot the ball and score 60 points. This is the toughest one I have so far. The Nuggets versus Timberwolves. I like both. I kind of like both teams. I'm going to go Timberwolves in 7. This could be an upset. I know Nuggets have Jokic, who is pretty good. Timberwolves got Anthony Edwards, who I love Anthony Edwards. I love how electric he is. I love how aggressive he is. I love Anthony Edwards. Timberwolves in 7. That's who I want to see as well. The Spurs versus the Trailblazers. Portland, get the fuck out of here. This is San Antonio in 4. This is a sweep. The Spurs in 4. Who does Portland have? I'll wait. That's what I thought. Spurs have Wemby. Do you know who that man is? The guy's 9 feet fucking tall. All right, once again, the Pistons, the 1 seed, versus the Magic or Hornets. Please have Charlotte win this versus the Magic. I don't like the Magic, and I like the Charlotte Hornets. Going back to 2K15, I've always been a fan of the Hornets just because, like, yes, they're colors, but B, they don't have enough love. They don't get enough love. They're not the best team. But then they drafted LaMelo Ball a few years ago, and I was like, ooh, yay. I think Pistons still win this in 6. Yeah, I think the Hornets will get 2 games above them. The Cavs versus the Raptors. Obviously taking Cleveland here. I have no clue who Toronto has. The Cavs in 6, because you can never be too careful. Knicks versus the Hawks. Give me the Knicks in 5. Who the fuck does Atlanta have? Not Trae Young anymore. And the Knicks have some players I like. I like Jalen Brunson. I like Kitty Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, like, after all of that, that clip's so funny. Knicks will do a good job. And then Celtics versus Sixers. Give me Boston in 5. I fucking hate the Sixers. I don't like Joel Embiid. I said it. I don't like Joel Embiid. Everyone says this guy is like one of the best in the fucking league. Bro, the guy barely plays. Wasn't it like, I think it was official last year that he officially missed more games than he's played in his career. And you're saying he's good? Get the fuck out of here. Boston should kill them. Although, I gave the Sixers 1 game because Tyrese Maxey. I like Tyrese Maxey. All right, there's my first round matchups. I'm probably going to get all of them correct because I don't know ball, and people who don't know ball know ball. That's how fantasy football at least works. All right, the main thing that I care about, the NHL playoff bracket. I know a lot about hockey. I don't bring my hockey knowledge to the channel a whole lot because I don't really, it's kind of like, it's kind of a long season. And there's like games happening every single day. But yeah, NHL playoff bracket. Let's go 3, 2, 1. So first up, we got the Avalanche versus the Kings. Give me Colorado here. The Avalanche are the best team in the goddamn league, and they look it. They're not some fraud team like OKC. But yeah, the Kings, a good old hoorah to Anze Kopitar playing his final season. He's retiring after this playoff series, or these playoffs in general, depending on how far they go. The Kings are a young and up-and-coming team. The fact they're in the playoffs, I'm really happy for them because a few years ago they weren't good, and now they kind of are. Give me Avalanche in 5. Maybe they'll slip up and do 1 game. Maybe they'll slip and let the Kings win 1 game, like a game 4 or game 3. But yeah, give me the Avalanche pretty easily. This series is fucking electric. The Stars versus the Wild. I like both teams. I like Minnesota because they got Kirill Kaprizov. I love Kirill Kaprizov. And we got Dallas Stars, who are so fun to watch. I'm not going to lie, any of the West Coast teams are fun to watch. Give me the Dallas Stars in 7. I think I would rather prefer to see the Wild win because of Kirill Kaprizov, but if Dallas wins, not mad at all. If we get an Avalanche versus Dallas Stars again, amazing. Because we got that in the first round last year and it was fun. Yeah, give me the Stars in 7. Next up, we got the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. The Buffalo Sabres, my team, making the playoffs for the first time since 2011. I was 5 years old last time they were in the playoffs. I am now 20. I was 5 years old. Now I am 20. Let that sink in real quick. We play the Boston Bruins, who honestly I am really pumped about that because the Boston Bruins are probably one of the easier teams to play. I'm not saying we'll destroy them. I'm saying Buffalo in 6. I'm taking us in 6 games. If we just don't allow David Pastrnak to score, I think we'll do okay because that's kind of all they have on their first line. I think we're chilling, and the first 2 games are home. Next up, another goated-ass series. The Lightning versus the Canadiens. I had a hard time picking this series. I really did. I said the Canadiens in 7. This will go 7 games. This or Stars versus Wild will go 7 games. The Canadiens, I have upsetting the Lightning. I think Tampa Bay might be the favorite, which kind of does make sense. They're kind of the older team. Montreal is a dog. Montreal is a very young and fast team. I think Montreal will definitely get shit done. Cole Caulfield, their best player, scoring 50 goals in the regular season is amazing. Yeah, give me the Canadiens. I want to see them move on. The Vegas Golden Knights versus the Utah Mammoth. Shout out to Utah, making the playoffs this is what, their 2nd year in the league? Give me Vegas in 6. I think Utah will surprise them. I think people expect Vegas to go out of to go on a run here. Vegas is still Vegas, don't get me wrong. But they're not the same team they were 2 years ago. I think Utah will take them. in like 2 games. But yeah, Vegas in 6. The Edmonton Oilers versus the Anaheim Ducks. Give me Edmonton here. Once again, shout out to Anaheim making the playoffs for the first time since 2019, something like that. Edmonton is very good. But I gotta say, man, making the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years and not winning it, when the fuck is it time? Because listen, we all think Connor McDavid deserves a cup. He's the best player in the league. Oilers in 6. That first line is ridiculous, and you have some very good people on the blue line. Awesome. The Carolina Hurricanes versus Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators. I mean, this is obviously Carolina. I'm going to go in 5. I think Ottawa can get 1 game. Ottawa is a team that no one's expecting to do great. I understand they have Chuck, who's a good player, Brady. But Carolina is very good. Hurricanes are amazing. One of the best young teams, very fast. I like fast and aggressive teams. So Sabres, Hurricanes, Canadians, yeah. Then we got Penguins versus Flyers. The battle of PA. There's a very, very big rivalry in hockey. I could care less. I think this series is gonna be very boring. Give me Pittsburgh in 6. I used to be a Flyers fan back when they had Claude Giroux, Wayne Simmons, all them guys, and then just congrats to Philly for making the playoffs for the first time in a little while as well. Same thing for Pittsburgh. Both these teams have gone through a small amount of a drought, I think, a little bit. Sidney Crosby is still extremely old, but he's playing okay, which is a little concerning. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh in 6, but I want the Flyers to win. Anyways, that's going to be all for today's Sports Madness video. Ball, puck, and buckets is what I'm calling it. BPB. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. A part 2 of this will come out probably next week not next week, whenever the playoff rounds end for both first rounds. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Comment down below any of your sports takes that aren't football. So hockey, basketball, baseball. I'll try to answer them all. But yeah, that's today's video, and I will see you all next time. Peace.